Hi, thanks for joining. In this video, we're going to have a look at the new points-based system and how you can get the 70 points required under the new immigration system, which is going to be commencing from 2021. And this will govern the ways in which you can come into the UK under a Tier 2 visa. So let's start with the points. Now, this is a different system from the current one, but the principles are familiar. So you need to have 20 points for an offer of a job from an approved sponsor, and the so-called resident labour market test, by which certain roles have to be advertised, will be taken away. So that will be much faster. You have to have a job at the appropriate skill level, and you need to speak English at the required level. Now, the skill levels are going to be reduced, in fact, quite significantly. But you'll still have to meet the English language requirement. Now, if you do that, you'll score 20 plus 20 plus 10. That will be 50 points. And then you still need to make up the remaining 20. And you can do that in a number of ways. And this is where we come to the so-called tradable characteristics. So the ways in which you secure the additional 20 points you need are either having a salary at 25,600 or more. That will secure 20 points. That's the one I've highlighted in red here. Or your job will be in the shortage occupation list, which will also score 20 points. And another way to do it is if the job requires a PhD in a STEM subject relevant to the job. That would get you 20 points. So I'll deal with that in an example in a minute. But you can see there's a number of different ways in which you can achieve this. Also, if you had a salary that was less than 25,600 but more than 23,040 pounds, then you could score 10 points for that, and a further 10 points if it required a PhD in a relevant subject. So overall, the requirements are going to be easier than the current requirements, and the shortage occupation list will be set out in the Migration Advisory Council's publications rather than in appendix, which I think that will make it more straightforward. But let me just give you an example here using this infographic. So this is an example of a university researcher who is applying under Tier 2. He or she would have 20 points for the job offer, 20 points for that job being at an appropriate skill level, and then 10 points for English language. So that would get them to 50 points. They would have no points because of the salary, because the salary was only 22,000, but they would have 20 points because a PhD was required in, say, in some science or technology subject, for example, and that would give them their total 20 points. So you have to bear in mind that the minimum salary, though, is 20,480 per annum. That's the absolute minimum for it to be an eligible role. And this has just gone through the House of Commons in a bill which will enable the immigration rules to be issued under it as a statutory instrument or delegated legislation. And this originated in the government's policy paper in February. I'm just going to give you another example. We've spoken about the researcher, but a nurse, for example. So a nurse wishing to come to the UK on a salary of 22,000 would still be able to enter the UK on the basis that they would be working in a shortage occupation, providing that it continues to have that status. So even if the salary was low, it would still be possible to apply. And you can see the 3 bands of salary that they consider here. Let me just zoom in on these. So the salary up to 23,000 does not get you any points, but above 23,040 gets you 10 points, and then 25,600 or more per annum gets you 20 points, and that along with the other points would get you to 70 points. So I'll give some other examples in future videos as they come out, but I hope that is helpful in the meantime. Thank you very much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like more videos like this. Bye for now.